Hey. Oh. Yeah, there you are. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Undeserved Flavor. Thanks for coming back, fam. As I like to say in all my videos, it's going to be a quick one. But as you already know by looking at the length of the video you clicked on, you know how long it's going to take me to ramble. But I got something today that I wanted to hit on. It's kind of really, if you're kind of newer to the deconstruction or Christian Universalist camp, or if you're seeking and you're not sure, or if you're like going through an existential crisis, or if you're tossed to and fro by the wind and waves of every doctrine. You have questions, but the church doesn't have answers. You don't know where to find it in the Bible. You don't even know if you should trust the Bible. You're scared to question the Bible, or you're scared to question your pastor, preacher, or like your preacher told you something that scared you or hurt you, or whatever. Well, here we go. Good news. There is freedom. You have been set free. You know what that means? You're free. You're actually free. You can read a book that is not the Bible. You can read any book you want. And guess what? You're still free. You know what? His eye is on the sparrow. You're the apple of his eye. God loves you. He loved you, and he will always love you. And no, hell is not an option because it doesn't exist. It's not even biblical. It's not. The Bible you're reading, if you're not reading this one, turn it up for you, is mistranslated and misliterated. Sorry. We've been lied to for way too long. So here's the thing. If you are newer to the Christian Universalist idea, or if you're in deconstruction mode, or on that journey, you're seeking, here's the thing. I went through deconstruction, and I had this epiphany type moment where I thought I was actually kind of crazy, because I literally was a very on fire evangelical turn or burn, like heaven or hell, get right or get left. But then something like came over me, and all of a sudden the scriptures were running through my mind in a way that was like, have I lost my mind? I just saw everything from a whole different paradigm, a whole different perspective. Topic for another video. I do have a video called, I don't know what it is, My Journey to Christian Universalism or something like that. But I'm using that as kind of a light source because I have low lighting in this room. Anyway, so if you're newer to the Christian Universalist camp, or if you're questioning this whole Christian Universalism thing, and there's really no content on YouTube because the YouTube content on this topic is really sparse. I don't know why. There should be a lot more because there's a lot of people that are in this camp. I'm here to give you a little bit of an assistance. That said, to my viewers that normally come in here, and I know you're a few, but I know you're high quality individuals, you have recommendations for books. You have resources. Post them down in the comments. I'm going to put down, I'm not going to say this is my top 3, but I have 4 books that I'm going to recommend today for this video in a certain context for people who are kind of new to this Christian Universalist thing. If you've already been in this for a while, you may have more recommendations. Drop them in the comments. What I want this video to be is a place where a viewer can go into the comments section and just like find a wealth of recommendations, like quality recommendations, because I know there's a lot of them. When I moved from my last house to this house, what's hilarious, I had like an entire box full of my like specifically Christian Universalist geared books. completely got lost. Don't know where it went. It just disappeared in the move, which is really weird, but it's gone. So I don't have a pile of books to show you. I have a couple, but I'm not going to rebuy all those books because I've read those books more than a few times. I don't have to buy them again, but I can recommend it. It's just, it's nice to recommend them, while they're in your hand. Thankfully, the main ones that I feel are the main ones for me, not for you necessarily, but for me, they may be for you. But if you're newer to this whole thing, I have a treat for you today because this is going to set you up for success. Because when you jump into this new world of Christian Universalism, and your family is traditional Christians, whether they're non-denominational or Catholic or whatever they are, I'm talking like typical American Christians, whatever your flavor. Typical American Christians are not Universalist Christians. They've never heard the word apokatastasis, which means the final restoration of all things, that the Bible talks about numerous times. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to jump right in after this, we're 6-7 minutes into this video now. So here we go. So as a Christian Universalist, if you're wondering, what is the best Bible I should be reading? Well, I just narrated the book of John out of the Mirror Bible. If you are familiar with the Grace Camp, this is the book. It is the, honestly, best book that captures the message of the gospel. Granted, I will say, now I'm not advertising for this book. I will recommend this Bible, this New Testament, which is unfinished, it's incomplete. It doesn't have all of the books of the New Testament, but it's got most of them. I will recommend this Bible version above all others because from a distance, I know the guy that is writing it, is working on translating. It's a life's work. I don't know him personally. We've had like a Facebook message back and forth once or twice. I unofficially narrated it. I'm definitely endorsing it. He's not endorsing me, but that's not the point. Not for any reason, just I haven't asked for an official endorsement. I'm not doing it for that. I'm not doing it for a sponsorship. I'm not doing it for an endorsement. I'm just doing it because I actually love the message. All of that said, being that it's not a sponsorship, if you're an American, a typical Western American, the writing or reading style may be a little. You'll have to use some, like, there's grammatical errors galore in here, but it's not a problem. The point isn't proper grammar. The point isn't there should have been a slash there, and there, and there, and there, and there. The point is the message. The message is priceless. Absolutely priceless. Like there's verses here that'll say like, it was God's heart dream. Well, heart dream, like if you're going to context it that way, it should have a dash in between there, but it doesn't. So if you're reading it, you got to go back and kind of like reread it to kind of get the full true, like the idea that the author is trying to put forth. But don't let that dissuade you from getting a copy of this Bible. This is the Bible. If you're a Christian Universalist, or if you're questioning Christian Universalism, or questioning your dogma for Christian Universalism, this is the Bible you want to read. That said, the Bible is not the Word of God. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that. If you've been around for more than 5 minutes on this channel, you know that. Well, we've been here for 10 minutes and you don't know that yet if this is your first video. So now you do. Anyway. That's the Bible you need to get your hands on. If I'm thinking when I post this video, I'll put a link to that in the description below. So check down below. If you don't see a link, drop a comment. I'll get that link up. Otherwise, you can get it on Amazon or you can go to their website. It's the Mirror Study Bible. All right, so that behind us. You can kind of tell that I'm not sponsored by these guys, right? By that little rant about that Bible. Anyway, it's like of any other, I don't even read the other Bibles anymore. I'm narrating this Bible because there's no audio version, and it's that good. I've spent over 3 months now working on the narration of one book. Like, it's that good. Check it out. Go to my The Book of John playlist. I may not be the best narrator, audiobook narrator, but I'll tell you what, it's worth. Yeah. Moving on, we have a particular topic I want to stick to today. So, if you are newer to this Christian Universalism ideology, dogma, whatever, or if you're, anyway, here we go. So, there are literally piles of books that I could throw at you, recommend to you. There are piles of books viewers will recommend, and hopefully do recommend in the comments, because I don't have a bunch of them with me. And there's some I haven't even read that I want to put them in the comments. But in today's video, literally, like, if this is new to you, because I know YouTube lacks Christian Universalist content, good, wholesome Christian Universalist content that has some direction and has some substance and isn't just tossing you around in a bunch of opinionated directions. I got you covered. There are 3 books, other than that Mirror Study Bible, that I'm going to recommend, and they are definitely my top 3 recommended. Like, if someone were to walk into my house today and I was just to start talking, we're talking, and they say, "Oh, you're a Christian Universalist? Oh, weird. Oh, wow, that sounds crazy. It sounds interesting, though. I mean, it would be good. It would be good if nobody went to hell. But, well, where do you recommend I start?" Well, from a historical perspective, Universalism, the prevailing doctrine. Let me read it so I don't screw it up. The prevailing doctrine of the Christian church during its first 500 years by John Wesley Hansen. This book was originally written in like the late 1800s. Let me see. 1899. But I mean, honestly, like, all you really need is the first chapter of this book, and then like there's a conclusion chapter which basically bullet points all of the good parts of this book. It's literally like your foundation for this Christian Universalism thing. Consider this the cornerstone. Yes, I said cornerstone. I'm not being heretical, and I'm not pulling Jesus off the throne. We all know. We all see it. As far as books are concerned, here's your cornerstone. The prevailing doctrine of the Christian church during its first 500 years. Really? Universalism? Like, but Jesus talked about hell. No, he didn't. He never actually did. Pagans put the word hell in there. Why don't you ever learn church history in church? All they read from is a mistranslated Bible. But they don't preach church history. Oh, we need to be like the church of the book of Acts. Well, why don't they preach the church of the book of Acts? Other than the stories you get in the mistranslated Bible. Why don't you go in and read what the disciples of the disciples thought? We have their writings. We got a compilation of 50,000+ pages of documents that have been preserved from the disciples of the disciples and the disciples of the disciples of the disciples. We have the writings of the early church fathers. Not all things were lost in history like the original books of the Bible that we had to like find in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like, they're out there. We have preserved writings. Like John the Beloved's disciple Polycarp has a lot to say. Wouldn't it be interesting to hear what he had to say about what John thought, about what Jesus thought? Like, Think about, like, you're going, you want to learn something, so you're going to go talk to somebody who actually knows, who's got an insider view. Like if you want to trade stocks, or if you got, there's some news happening politically, and you know an insider, wouldn't you want to talk to the insider? It's like, no, block out the insiders. I just want to hear what the mainstream media has to say. Mainstream media only. Give me Fox News and CNN and MSNBC. You have inside information here. Not just here, but like you can go on the internet and find, it's called the Ante-Nicene something or other. The early church fathers. Just look up Ante-Nicene, the complete works of the Ante-Nicene Fathers. A-N-T-E, Nicene Fathers. Study to show yourself approved. Where did that come from? This is going to give you a historical context, a historical foundation. Let me read a couple of these. I really didn't want to make this video long. Here we are again. The undeserved flavor. I'm probably going to get knocked on the door here. I got to go put some kids to bed or something. But I talk and talk and talk. All right, so point 1 in the end of this book. During the first century, the primitive Christians did not dwell on matters of eschatology, end times, but devoted their attention to apologetics. They were chiefly anxious to establish the fact of Christ's advent and of its blessings to the world. Possibly the question of destiny was an open one, till paganism and Judaism introduced erroneous ideas, when the New Testament doctrine of the apocalypse was asserted and universal restoration became an accepted belief, as stated later by Clement and Origen. Clement and Origen were early church fathers in the second and third century. Number 2, the catacombs give us the views of the unlearned. As Clement and Origen state, the doctrine of scholars and teachers, not a syllabus, is found hinting at the horrors of Augustinianism. But the inscription on every monument harmonizes with the universalism of the early fathers. Like, there's point after point after point after point of these, like, that's nothing. Just get the flipping book if you're interested in this topic. Like, seriously, it's probably like $2 on Amazon. I'll link it below. But seriously, that is your cornerstone in this dogma. It's not dogma. It's literally facts. Christian history. Facts. Facts you're not going to learn in any other flavor of Christianity, denominational or not. Next book. If you're looking for... If you're more of a romantic and you just need to understand the nature and character and heart of God, He didn't create a hell. Here's why. This guy, Bradley Jersak, is one of the most spineless authors I know. Sorry, Brad, if you're watching this, but yeah, spineless. But that said, he's probably one of the best theologians I know and authors. Why do I say spineless? Because he's a universalist, he just won't say it. He's afraid of getting kicked out of whatever organization he's a part of. It's fine, it is what it is, whatever. Come on, dude, just say it. He's waiting around like Richard Rohr. You got to be a Catholic for 60 years before you finally say you're a Universalist so the Catholics don't kick you out. Come on, Brad. You're a Baptist preacher for how many years? And then you converted to Orthodoxy? You might as well just name it and claim it. Like, come on. This hopeful stuff? Really? I'm a hopeful Universalist because we don't know what's to come. What about blessed assurance? Come on, man. But that said, so this was a very pivotal book during my original transition from traditional American evangelicalism to Christian universalism. And how this book helped is my wife picked it up, and it kept her from leaving me because she was able to gain an understanding of what I was going through on the inside that I could not articulate. Because you know how the journey can be really lonely, and you have a hard time figuring things out on your own, much less articulating them to somebody else. Because you don't have it all figured out, especially in the beginning. Come on. Right here. Brad Jerzak's A More Christ-Like God. Sorry for the dig, Brad, but I'm promoting your books. Come on. I'm not getting paid for this. Seriously. That is book number 2 behind book number 1. In book number 0, which is the Bible, meaning like the Bible doesn't actually get a number. You should have it anyway, but the most important book, you should have a Bible. Not the Word of God. It's the ancient texts that are the closest thing we have to the incarnation of Jesus Christ. Moving on. Not going on a rabbit trail on that one. I have other videos for that. If you have some people in your life that like to argue, Arminianism, Calvinism, all these, like they have it figured out. They went to seminary. Or they know what they're talking about. Or they're Bible believers. You don't have to be good at arguing to shut them up with a 1 paragraph argument that you will find in this book here. The Inescapable Love of God by Thomas Talbot. This is probably, in my opinion, the number 1 Christian Universalist go-to book on the planet. Now, like I said before, if you're watching this video, I know you have other recommendations. Put them down below. I know George Saris and what's his name, Gary Buchanan or something like there are books galore. Put them down below. I don't have them anymore. I have some up on my shelf here that I could recommend. Not the point of this video. This video is about 3 + 1 books. If you are newer to this context of Christianity, here we go. I'm literally not kidding though. Number 1, like literally just buy all of them. And I mean, you can find, this one is not an audiobook. You're not going to find this anywhere. If you find this as an audiobook, please put it in the comments. Let me know. I've never been able to, this book was written in 1899. I may actually, after I narrate the Bible, narrate this one in audio format so people have it. If it exists, please let me know down in the comments. If it exists, but it's really hard to listen to and it kind of sucks, it's crusty, just, I gotta want to listen to it. You know what I mean? So, Universalism, John Wesley Hansen, Bradley Jerzak's A More Christ-Like God, and he's got some other books that are really good too. Not gonna recommend those here. This is the main book that I recommend from Brad Jerzak. You probably will like his other books too, but like this one is the book. And Thomas Talbot. I think this is the only book he's really well known for, but like this is honestly, I can't put these books in order from like 1, 2, 3 because they're all literally number 1 for their own reason. So there we have it. Drop your comments if you have other recommendations. Please, I want people to come back to this video in the future, whether they're already in this camp with ideas and recommendations, dropping them in the comments further for more. Like, let's build this comment section as like an archive for new people in this realm of Christian thinking. A place that people can go, you know, when they're searching YouTube and putting those keywords in, there's just nothing out there on Christian Universalism that's not just boring David Bentley Hart interviews where he basically just lets his ego drip all over the video, or people arguing about just arguing. Like, it's all arguing, you know? And then there's a couple videos with testimonials, but there's not a lot of good, solid content. I mean, like I said, we have total victory in Christ. But the problem is, I don't totally agree with his eschatology. I personally believe, I'm going to save that for another video. Never mind. We're going to cut this off here. I got an idea for tomorrow. Hit the, going too fast here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. Drop me a like. Comment your favorite Christian Universalist book below, please. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of September. I'm really trying. Help me out. Share my video. That'd be really helpful too. If you have multiple email addresses, Gmail addresses, you know, you can log into YouTube under each different email address and subscribe to me again. You can literally subscribe to me like with the number of email addresses you have. Gmail. Just a little trick. If you like, you know, what you're seeing. If you like what I'm doing, drop a like button. I know I'm not, you know, Mr. Perfect, but I'm doing something, putting something out there. This takes time, takes money, takes effort, takes time away from the family. I'm not getting paid a red cent for this, so help me out. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment. It helps push the video on the YouTube algorithms. And come back, hit that bell, because tomorrow I got another video. I was about to drop a hint, but I'm going to save it. I'll see you tomorrow. Taste and see that the Lord is good, and peace out.